I am on a mission to make some super chewy chocolate chip cookies. And I looked up all these different tips to make chewy cookies, and I'm going to do all of them. So here's what you need. First of all, this is the recipe I'm using. It's from this Better Homes and Gardens cookbook that my grandma gave me. It's just the standard chocolate chip cookies recipe. But instead of using half a cup of shortening and a half a cup of butter, I'm going to do a whole cup of butter, and I'm going to melt the butter first and get all of the water out of it. So I'm going to kind of brown it. So that was one of the tricks. I'm going to use, instead of half a cup of granulated sugar and a cup of brown sugar, I'm going to use all brown sugar because it has more molasses in it, which can make it more chewy. And then instead of 2 eggs, I'm going to do 1 egg and 2 yolks. I'm going to do the flour just like it said, and I'm also going to add cornstarch to it, like 2 tablespoons, because it said that you can do that. I'm also going to add, instead of just chocolate chips, I'm also going to grate some regular chocolate, which I've already gotten into this, but I'm going to use just half of this and grate it into it so you have little tiny pieces of chocolate as well as the morsels. This is my butter, my brown sugar, vanilla, my eggs, cornstarch, my flour, and baking soda. Let's see how this goes. Now my butter is melted, and I'm just going to let it cook and steam off some of the water that's in there. Interesting things are definitely happening. Here it goes, starting to brown. And it smells amazing. You don't want to burn it, so this is where I'm going to stop. So it's just below that 8-ounce thing. I know this is liquid versus the solid measuring cup, but this is liquid now, so I wanted to measure 8 ounces. I think I'm just going to add like 1 tablespoon of butter flavored Crisco. Alright, so I'm adding the butter flavored Crisco. Just 1 tablespoon. Yep, and that brought us up to the 8-ounce line. So this is probably like an actual baker's nightmare, but you know what? I'm just experimenting. I've made chocolate chip cookies a million different times in a million different ways. They always taste good, but they're never as chewy as I want them to be after like 1 or 2 days. So and I've seen this done on a cooking show, and he literally, he didn't even have to cream the sugar and butter together. He just mixed it like this and then mixed in the eggs. I am going to wait a few minutes to mix in the eggs because this is really hot. What do you think? Should I don't know. I don't think I need to cream it together. What's the worst that'll happen? So now this is just warm. It's not hot, so I don't have to worry about scrambling my eggs. I've got 1 egg and 2 yolks that I'm going to put in here. 1. Oh, shoot. Alright. I've got 1 egg and 2 yolks. I'm adding a teaspoon of vanilla. Each capful is a ½ teaspoon. So I'm adding that. And I noticed that this recipe does not call for salt. Maybe it just assumes that you're using salted butter, but I'm not. So I'm going to, So I'm going to add a ½ teaspoon of salt. I think that's going to be enough. It's 2½ cups of flour, a ½ teaspoon of baking soda, and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. I don't remember why it said to do the cornstarch, but we're going to trust the process. Okay, so I am going to make sure that I sift these ingredients in here, especially since I'm not like beating this together. I want to make sure that there's no lumps. And when I saw the guy doing it on the cooking show, he just added it all at once. So who knows? Besides the cooking of the butter, this might be a much easier way to make chocolate chip cookies. Let's hope it's better as well and not just easy and crappy. This is about 3 ounces of milk chocolate, just a regular chocolate bar, not baking chocolate or anything special. That was very time consuming and I don't recommend it. Usually I just do that in a food processor. If you have a food processor and you want to pull it out just for grinding chocolate, feel free. If not, you can grate it by hand or you can just leave it out. I'm sweating. Look at that though. So yummy. Okay, so that was 3 ounces of milk chocolate grated. This is semi-sweet morsels. The last thing we're going to do is take these and get it into bowls. You can do this on a cookie sheet, on a plate, however you want to get them into a bag. Flatten them slightly and then freeze them. That's really important. You can either refrigerate them for at least 3 hours or freeze them, and they'll stay good for months, and you could just pull out a few at a time if you want. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to freeze them, and then we'll see if they are the chewiest cookies ever. Okay, it is now the next morning. So the real test was going to be if they are still chewy after some time. So we ate some last night, and obviously they were really chewy because they were fresh. But once you let some time pass and they're still chewy, then you know they're good. Look at that marbling from the chocolate that I grated into it. All right, I'm not going to be on the camera because I look like I just woke up. And it's nice and dense. Look at all that chocolate in there. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm going to try a piece. It's definitely still chewy. I think next time I'm going to try the cake flour and see if it works even better. Y'all got to try these. And don't forget, if you don't make it, you can't taste it. So make it.